Good morning, everyone. It is Brooke with Legacy. Today we are going to talk about a very, very simple concept. It's a concept that I used at an early season in my life. It was a concept that got me through a specific period in my life as I was on my way to fabulous wealth. This was the tool that still remains near and dear to my heart, but is something that really was the foundational element that helped me go from nothing. And I mean nothing. I started as an independent woman at age 18 with nothing. I had to sort it all out. So starting from that standpoint and moving myself into financial freedom, into wealth, I had a wealthy mindset all along. We all have wealthy mindsets. It is how you think about it that determines whether or not you're going to have wealth. So I had a wealthy mindset, but I just didn't have the dollars in a bank account. So I want to share that with you. Please like, comment, subscribe. I love your comments. I love the incoming. This is really taking off and I'm really enjoying it. So why are we today talking about one, sort of simple little rule? I've realized as I'm going through this process of conversations with men and women, but mostly women is my understanding. I'm happy to talk to anybody, but I think that a lot of this resonates with women. I don't care what your background is. I don't care where you came from. I don't care how much money you started with. I don't care if you're 84 years old or you're 17 years old. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that financial freedom is something that really resonates with you. And also that the conversation is one that you understand as a commitment to self, not a get rich quick scheme. On this channel, you will not get rich quick. You might as well just hang up. Please, hang up the channel. This is not the place, right? We're the tortoise. We win at the end of the day, but we're not the hare. We're not the flash in the pan. So I am really, really directing all of my conversations to the woman in the arena, the one who is fighting for her future. You are my people. You are the ones that I know I can help, and I don't care where you're starting from, and I don't care how much money is sitting in your bank account right now, because that does not define your value. Your value is defined here in your mindset. It has nothing to do with the money that comes in or out of your pocket. But I can help you with the financial concepts, with more sophisticated financial conversations and commercial real estate conversations if you stick with me. So let's start with the basics, because the basics are really the foundation on which we build everything. So financial habits matter. Just like when you start to go to the gym and over time, you're going to feel better. You're going to feel so much better. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel better. You just don't know exactly when. You don't know. No one can tell you it's going to take exactly 6 months and you'll feel great. And all of a sudden you'll lose X pounds. Some of us, the more controlling of the species, want to know exactly how long it's going to take and how much effort they're going to have to put in. But most people understand that it's an indeterminate amount of time in the future, but you will definitely feel better. Financial well-being works the same. You're going to do things now that are going to be good for your future. You just don't know exactly when they're all going to hit, when they're going to be needed, when you're suddenly going to become wealthy. But when you arrive, you will know that you have arrived. That's a wealthy mindset. So the 80-20 rule is something that I learned from the time I was really little. It's something I teach in my home as well. The 80-20 rule is as follows. When money comes in the door, no matter what the amount, I don't care if it's $1, any money that comes in the door, a gift, income, it doesn't matter how it arrives, 20% of it is an investment in my future self. 20% of it automatically gets skimmed off the top and goes into a stock investment account. You can do stocks, you can do bonds, you can do a savings account, you can do crypto. I'm not going to talk about crypto today, but you can do lots of different things with that money. And by the way, I'm a judgment-free zone, so I'm going to talk about anything you can invest in. I'm not going to turn my nose up at anything. It's important you understand how things work so that you don't get taken advantage of. It's your brain that you need to use. Somebody else can't force you to do anything. You can't be victim of other people. You have to figure things out. But I won't judge or say anything is a bad thing to invest in as long as you're willing to take the risk and you understand what risk you're taking. You have to truly understand what risk you're taking. So coming back to the 80-20 rule, the 80-20 rule is really important for getting yourself on solid ground. When I was 18, no nest egg, no here's some starter cash, dear. I had none of that. My parents were great people. They understood that in order for me to do what I needed to do, I really needed to be independent. They had to just let me go. And I did what I needed to do, and I became incredibly independent because I didn't start in a way that gave me a cushion. I kind of had to figure it all out. So from that point of view of figuring it all out, I began to understand really clearly what a need was and what a want was, and how to always pay myself a little bit first, even when things were very tight, even when the money was not flowing beautifully, because I was working multiple part-time jobs. It wasn't like I was holding down a full-time job with benefits. I had no benefits. Like I had to just figure this stuff out. So the 80-20 rule is the thing that helped me always squirrel away a few little nuts. Now, some of you may say, but Brooke, you always talk about living in the present and not worrying about the future. I'm not worrying specifically about the future that I have no idea what it's going to look like. But I do intellectually understand that paying myself, investing in myself a little bit, time value of money is really powerful. We talked about time value of money yesterday. $1 in my hand today is money I can invest, which will grow over time. Whether or not I use that money or I get hit by a bus and my heir or somebody else in my family or a charity uses the money is kind of irrelevant. Think of it that way. It doesn't have to be me selfishly doing it only for me. I can also be paying it forward to future generations. So I knew the value of a little bit of money always invested is going to grow. And so even when I had nothing, even when I was working multiple part-time jobs and going to school and had an apartment and had to pay for my own food and had to figure everything out, even in that space, I was still figuring out how to squirrel away little nuts that were going to help a future generation. It was a season in my life. And it was a season of committing to the hard thing, dedication, that then was going to yield me a better life outcome. It's a mindset, you see. So the 80-20 rule really helps you as you're establishing yourself, as you're getting yourself off the ground, before you have, flow in the way that you're destined to have money flow. Before you have wealth. And remember, for me, wealth is a mindset and it's a state of money flowing in and out. Wealth for me is not sitting on and hoarding dollar bills. Right? I didn't say to you that if money comes in, 80% of it should go into an investment account and you should only ever touch 20 and then you should hoard the other 80. I didn't say that at all. You still have to live a life. You still have to do things to survive. As you become wealthier and wealthier and wealthier in paper money, in dollars, right, or digital money, as you become wealthier in assets, you may recalibrate the 80-20 from 80-20 to much more of your money going into investing in yourself and investing in the future. You may redo that calibration. Wealthy people really do redo that calibration. But at the very beginning, figuring out how to just take a little bit is the muscle you need to learn how to flex in order for you to have a better outcome for yourself, a better wealth outcome for yourself. So delaying gratification a little bit, 20% of your money, $1 out of every 5, $2 out of every 10. How did I do it? I pretended it didn't even exist. I literally paid myself so quickly that I had psyched myself out that extra $1 or $2, it didn't even exist. It was in the ether. It was in an account over there that I couldn't touch. Can't touch it. So I did that because I knew that at some indeterminate time in the future, that was going to be really helpful for me. It was going to show that I was able to commit to a habit that was a hard habit, and that I was able to step back, watch something grow. But even more so, that I was able to distinguish a need from a want. What do I mean by that? The basic needs we've talked about. Wants are really insidious. A lot of people will say things like, I need to live in a certain neighborhood or else I may just, not survive. I need to drive a certain car. I need. Those are all wants. Every single one of them is a want. You may not like how I say this, and I'm very sorry if I offend anyone who is sensitive on the matter of, I want to be able to buy what I want to buy, and I want to buy it right now, and I'm worth it, even though I'm throwing money out the window because it's not really a need, it's a want. But I'm going to be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. You need basics. You want everything else. And so when you get your mind screwed on right and you begin to value everything that comes across your way that serves to satisfy your basic needs, and you're so grateful. I love that I just bought a $5 white t-shirt and it's gorgeous and it's amazing and I love it and I'm just going to cherish it. Like, y'all might think that that's crazy, but like when something crosses my path, when I receive a gift or I purchase something for self, it doesn't matter what the price tag, I am grateful. And now I don't need another one of those things because I have the one thing that satisfies the want. And sometimes I'm going to make a real investment because I know that it's a good investment to make, right? Sometimes, like nowadays, as I've aged, I know that high quality things matter because they help me feel really good and they help me feel very warm and they help me feel really comfortable. But I want those things, and I understand the difference between a want and a need. And the wanting of it, I know, pays a dividend because I've invested in myself and I've invested in things that help me feel really good about self. I'm not investing so that others can go, ooh, don't you have the nicest stuff? I could care less. If I really cared, I'd be out shopping for a $5 million home if I cared about what people think of me. I don't. I do it for me. I love to be really comfortable and I love to invest in self in ways that makes me feel like this is me and you're seeing me. And it's going to look a little bit different for everybody, but these are the types of conversations you begin to have with yourself as you get your mindset on right around money. So needs and wants really matter. 80-20 rule at the very beginning is incredibly important. Please don't skip over the 80-20 rule. Pay yourself a little bit first. And for those of you who are saying there's literally no way I could ever pay myself first, I challenge you. Wealth is a mindset. How do you think you're going to get to a better place in your life? You yourself, no one's coming to save you. No one's rescuing you. No one owes you anything. How are you going to get to a better place in your life from a place where you just can't figure out at all how to do anything? You think you're going to be able to get over here from here? I don't know how to do it. You can't get over here, financial abundance and wealth. You can't get here if your mindset's not right. If you keep complaining instead of saying, I'm really grateful for everything I have and I'm going to pay myself a little bit and I'm going to start to migrate myself over to that space where I know I'm worth it. I'm wealthy. I'm fabulous. I have money flowing through me all day long, right? If you've got to start to create the momentum for yourself financially to get over here to this space. And you can't get there from a really negative mindset and a really negative starting point. You just can't get here from there. So So reframing where you stand. So even when I was 18 years old and it was hard, I never woe is me'd. Woe is me, oh, it's so unfair. No, like I now in hindsight realized that I just sort of screwed my head on and said, let's go. Yay, thank you, money. Yay, thank you, this wonderful food, which I got at Aldi's, or, this giant pack of ramen noodle, which is going to last me for the next week. I'm pretty sure I can dole it out in that way, right? Like, thank you. I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. That was the way I approached money. That was the way I approached life. And in doing so, using the 80-20 rule, socking a little bit away, but also understanding how to be really grateful for where I sat, I was able to propel myself forward into a life of tremendous blessing. But I couldn't get there from anger. I couldn't get there from negativity. I couldn't get there from lack and being angry and miserable. I had to really commit, like going to the gym, to getting to a better place. And that was just committing to saving a little bit of money for myself for the future. And who knew when that was going to happen, but it was going to happen. So this is part one of the conversation, which is a season of your life when you're really trying to get your legs under you. You're not going to say anymore, I don't have enough. You're never going to complain about it. From this point forward, you don't complain. You have everything you need. You're just going to try to rework some things. You're going to set yourself on a slightly different path. You have what you need, but now you're going to set yourself on a different path. And as you do that work, and I'm here to help as we move forward into that space of financial understanding and sophisticated financial concepts and sophisticated financial well-being and commercial real estate conversations and investing in commercial real estate. As we do that work together, you're gonna start to see it, but like going to the gym or eating healthy, you're not gonna see it in one day. So if you're here to get rich quick, you found the wrong channel. If you're here because you're committed to a life of abundance, a life of wealth, a life of fulfillment, you found the right lady. Finally. Have a wonderful day.